Welcome to Lesson 5 in MyScience Unit 24, What's Consistent About Matter. In this lesson, students will answer the question, how can we separate mixtures when we cannot see the components? Students will figure out that to separate solutions, you'll need to evaporate off the water. When water evaporates from a solution, it leaves behind a solid. In the Engage portion of this lesson, you'll show students a picture of Kool-Aid. You'll ask students, can we get the Kool-Aid powder or sugar back after we mix it with water? Then challenge students to think about how they would try to separate the Kool-Aid mixture. In the Explore portion of this lesson, you'll revisit the Petri dishes you set up in Lesson 4. By sitting them by the windowsill, you'll hope that at that time water has evaporated off of the Petri dishes, leaving behind the solute. On the Mixing with Water Observations handout in their student journal, have students fill out that third column, Observation after blank amount of days. First, have them fill in the number of days it's been since they prepared their Petri dishes. Then have groups describe what they see at the bottom of the Petri dish. What happened to the components that were in the solution before? In the Explain portion of the lesson, you'll show students a video about how you can separate the components of a solution. You'll then ask the class, what causes evaporation? Discuss that evaporation occurs when energy is added to water. In this case, energy is usually in the form of heat. What happens is it speeds up the water molecules, making them move so fast that they escape the liquid and turn into a gas molecule. Brainstorm ideas with students about how they can make the separation process occur faster. They might come up with ideas like put a heat lamp on the Petri dishes, or use a hairdryer and heat up the Petri dishes. You'll then show students different pictures of separation techniques. The first one is filtration. Click through the images to show students how you can use filter paper to separate solids from liquids. The next model shows how students can use evaporation to separate solids from liquids. After watching the videos and showing students the picture models, have students fill out modeling evaporation found in their student journal. In their model, students should show as the molecules of water evaporate, the amount of water in the solution decreases. In the Elaborate portion of this lesson, you'll brainstorm ideas of real-world examples of mixtures. This could be anything like coffee, soda, trail mix, Crystal Light. Challenge students to see if they can identify it as a solution or just a mixture. You'll then show students this picture of oil and vinegar salad dressing. Ask them which states of matter they see in this picture. They should say 2 liquids. And then challenge them to think about how these liquids can be separated. We've spent a lot of time talking about liquids and solids being separated from each other, but now it's time to see if students can think about how you might separate 2 liquids from each other. You'll connect the idea that solutions or mixtures are found all the time in cooking by reading the latter's Let's Cook book with students. The Read Aloud guide found in the teacher pages allows you to narrow the discussion to solutions and mixtures found in the book. In the Evaluate portion of this lesson, students will complete a formative assessment on solutions. Finally, revisit the phenomenon of baking a cake. Ask students during this process, when do we make a mixture? Can we separate the components of a mixture before we bake the cake? Can we separate the components of the mixture after we bake the cake? By the end of this lesson, students will have modeled and separated solutions using evaporation as their technique.